everybody, I'm Joey.
And I'm Alex.
And today we're going to talk about a game that I saw at Gen Con.
Yeah.
And I walked past it because initially I saw it not because of the gameplay, but because of the art.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say I'm not a huge artwork kind of guy, but artwork is fine. I want a game with good artwork, but really the components and the play is what sells me on it. I need to know it's a good game. That way I will like the artwork. I won't just buy a game because of artwork. But this one, I bought because of artwork.
I was going to say, we walked by it at Gen Con a couple times and it intrigued us.
It did.
Yes.
It just looked so good on the table.
Yeah.
And I knew nothing about it walking by it at Gen Con.
No.
And we watched a playthrough and we're like, okay, it sounds fun, and walked away again, came back, and there it is. Yes, so this is the Mirroring of Mary King.
There it is.
And the big reason is this is in wide circulation right now. You can get this. It is a tug-of-war style game. But before, well, tell you what, let's see how it plays and bring it back and see what we thought about it.
Okay.
Okay, so we are now set up with a two-player, which is all it is, a game of Mirroring of Mary King. And as you can tell, the artwork is just gorgeous on this. And here's the manual. It's very simple. Pretty much what this is, it's a different type of area control game. It's kind of a tug-of-war mixed with area control. And it's pretty simplistic, but the artwork is really what makes this game pop. So you're going to have the ghost player over here and the mortal player over here. Each of you are fighting for control of her body. So of course these are the ghost players and here is the mortal player. So we're going to jump forward. We're going to do the ghost player always goes first. Everybody starts with a deck of cards. All right. And now this has different terminology here. These are considered the ideas. This is the mind. And over here the discard, which aren't any discards yet, those are the memory. So first thing to happen, there is a turn-based thing here. You're going to have gather your thoughts, get new ideas, buy and play cards, and psychic turmoil. So let's go through the first phase here of the ghost. First is gather your thoughts. If you have fewer than 5 cards in your hand, draw up to 5, and we don't need that. For some reason we have 6. I was cheating. Sorry about that. Here we go. So we've got these. Then you're going to get new ideas. And what that happens is you turn these over, and these are your ideas that you can purchase. Now you're going to notice right here the days of the week go by. So whenever you get to Friday, that's when it is over. Or if anyone else controls everything, then of course it will be over as well. So as of right here, we are on Monday. So we grab these ideas, we got new ideas, and now we can buy and play cards. As this moves, so does the amount of cards you can buy or the amount of cards you can play. For example, right now we're on Monday, so I can then play control cards. I can play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 control cards if I'd like. However, I can only buy 1 card. Okay, so let's see how this happens. So here we go. I'm going to, first off, I want to buy a card. Now, normally if there are ideas out over here, I could buy from these ideas, except I could not put these into my hand. I would have to play those immediately. Here, I'm going to go ahead and, let's see here. Wow, none of these really look good. This one's not bad. Let's, for the sake of an example, let's take this one. So to buy it, I take 1 card from my mind and put it in my memory, pretty much discard, and this goes into my hand. So I have now bought 1 card. So now let's look over here at my hand and start using some of these. Let's see here. What do I have? Okay, I'm going to play this card. So I can flip it this way or this way. And because I am the ghost player, I'm going to hold it this way. So I'm going to flip these. Whoop. And there we go. So I have played that card. That is 1. And let's see here. I don't want to do this. This one might be good, although that will control. You know what? Let's try this one here. This, I'm going to flip down here. However, that does make me move this right here. So it's kind of a 1-1. All right, there we go. And I'd really like to make a larger area to control. So let's see if I can get one of these two flipped over. And I luckily can right here. So my last control, I'd move that. Here we go. I'm going to flip this guy right here. Boom. There we go. So that was my third card. And now there are also these action cards here that I can play as well. These do different things you can take from the mind and all this. And those have different abilities that you can play throughout the game. And each deck has those mortal and ghost. So any of these other ones would help? Not really. That would be nice, but it would cause more problems. So now I'm going to say that is the end of my turn. Now at the end of my turn, you're going to check at the Psychic Turmoil. What that does is both players pay their end of turn area control penalty. So for example, right here, the largest area you control, your opponent must discard. So right here, if I control 1, 2, or 3, which he does, 1, 2, or 3, your opponent must discard nothing. Okay? So I don't have to discard anything. However, my opponent here, I control 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I have got 9. So now we look down here, 8 or more, then he must discard 3 cards into his memory. All right, so that is going through his deck. So then you're going to go over to the Mortals card, and they're going to flip their ideas over and pick up their cards, and they're going to go to town on that. So that is the way it goes, back and forth, back and forth. You're going to flip these cards over. You're going to see who controls the most area, and if anyone can go ahead and finish this off and have it completely turned over, then they're going to win. Otherwise, you wait till Friday, and then you tally up who has the largest area to control, and that is the winner of the game. So that is a quick and dirty. It doesn't go into a lot of the asymmetric powers, which are really, really awesome, but that is pretty much how you play the Mirroring of Mary King. So let's send it back to the studio and see what we thought about it. First off, look at that artwork. Isn't that gorgeous? Wow. Okay, so that is it. That's how you play, in a nutshell, the Mirroring of Mary King. We didn't go into a lot of the different player abilities and all that, but that's just to give you an idea of how to play the game.
So I've played this game many times. I've also watched it because it's a two-person game too. So
Right.
I've watched 2 people play it. It's fun to watch as much as it is to play.
Oh.
Yeah, it's one of those ones like you're on the side, like as a cheerleader. It's really fun as that too.
It's really good. It's one of those that it's... Okay, so I didn't go into the different actions you can get. We can play a card for its actions, and that's really huge too, because you can flip over an entire row or column. There's different abilities you can do. You can grab someone else's cards and play those. So in addition to those control cards, you can play those action cards, and the action cards are free. Play as many of those as you want.
And I was going to say the action cards, I feel each player or each side has different action cards that are really, really strong, and then some that are just kind of average, which I like how that evens out the game.
It does.
So I do like how they do that too. You said at the beginning of this game that this game is a tug of war, and I feel like that sums up this game perfectly. This is like a giant tug of war with cards.
Right,
and it's wonderful.
It's great because you're looking for those control cards where you want to flip 4, but there are certain times where you want to only flip 1.
Yeah.
And you'll flip it back and forth and go. Now, also, the game builds because at the beginning, you're like, oh, this is going to be so easy. You're just flipping cards and flipping cards. But then towards the end, you're flipping less cards, and you don't want to get hosed at the end with having your cards this way. And it sounds odd, but there are several different paths to victory you can go for.
Yes.
Because if you are going for mainly, if you're saying that I want to flip these cards over, and I want to win by flipping over all the cards, which I've never done, I've never seen done. I've seen it done. Have you?
Yes.
I've seen her close. She came within one tile of flipping over.
I did. That hurt.
Or you can play it safe and get the other person to run out of cards.
Yeah.
So they can't draw up to 5. So there's several different paths to victory you can go.
Yes.
And that is what is really, the more you play this game, the more you realize the depth behind it.
Correct. I just feel like this game has so much strategy in it. No matter who you're playing, and once you've played one person, you can flip to the other person. The strategy in this game is like huge. It's amazing how much strategy there is in this little card game here, right?
Yeah, the box is great.
The box is little and it's quick to set up. It's easy to play. It's also easy to explain to new people. there's so much in this one box.
And it's got great play rates, which
Yes.
I love play rates. So you look down and you know different iconography. There's not a lot of icons in it, but everything is explained in it.
I was going to say the terminology does take a while to get used
It
to.
does.
Like for example, you've got, rather than discard, you've got your memory, you've got your mind, and you're like, what? But I feel like once you play it around, you've got it. You know it's fine. But at first you're like, this doesn't make sense. But it does.
It's weird
Yeah.
thinking how to take these cards, shuffle them into your memory or
Yeah.
your mind, take
Yeah.
the ideas, and that takes a little bit of time to get used to.
I feel like it's really only a round. That first round, you're still kind of questioning stuff, but then you're on your
Right.
way. Yeah.
But it's great because the table presence on this, because the box is so small, you take it somewhere and you play it, people are going to walk by and say, wow, what is that game?
Yeah.
It looks that good.
It's amazing.
And it's one of those unique games that you can both play while sitting on the same side of the table, which is good because usually you're reversed on there.
Yeah.
But it's really nice. And this is a surprise in how much I like this game.
This was one of those hidden gems of Gen Con that I'm like,
Yeah.
I am glad we got this. This is just, like I said, this has been a fantastic game. I really enjoy playing it. It doesn't take too long to play either for a two-player game. It's perfect.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, okay, what is your number on this?
I'm going to give it an 8.
An 8, really?
yeah.
I would come right below at a 7.5.
Okay.
And I probably could give it an 8, but I think I'll stick to 7.5 on this. This is a very, very solid
Oh, yeah, it's fantastic.
two-player game. And again, because the artwork is killer, it's
Yeah.
a tug of war, and there's so many paths to victory, all of that just means there's a lot of gameplay in this little box.
Yes, and the times we've played it, people always want to replay it.
Right.
It's one of those games that you do quickly, or like, let's run it back.
Yeah, it's easy to reset and run it back. So it's good.
Definitely.
So, okay, guys, that is the Mirroring of Mary King.
Here it is, one more time.
Right here.
Ta-da.
Okay, all right. Hey, thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.